Game number 3 here of a best of 3. Round of 16 of the WCS qualifier number 1 for Season 2. Insanely, ridiculously, monumentally awesome series. And both are so close to that qualification spot. Spawning in the top left position of Habitation Station, we have got the red Zerg player, who represents my insanity. Winning game number 1, looking good in game number 2, but just losing it at the end, thanks to some great upgrades of his opponent. We've got Serral. And to the top right, his opponent, first. Losing game 1, close in game 2, but managing to work it out with some great multi-prong harassment and pressure and good defense. It's the blue Protoss player, first. Things very, very close. And as I've said repeatedly, this is a lot on the line for both of them. Getting that spot in the final is absolutely essential. Well, not in the finals, just in the main cup itself. You want to be looking to go into Challenger League. This is the round of 16. The top 4 from each qualifier advance. So if you win this game, you've just got to win your quarterfinal match, and then you go through. Then you've got that spot in the first qualifier. You practice all week for Challenger League, and things are good for you. However, if it doesn't go your way, you have to play in tomorrow's qualifier, Wednesday's qualifier, maybe even the wildcard qualifier. It's a lot more effort, it's a lot more hassle. And bear in mind that these two have already been playing now for just over 4 hours. It's a big ask to keep on this pressure, and especially if you're doing it day after day. Obviously, I feel a bit of their pain. I'm crazy, I'm going to be casting all of the qualifiers day in, day out, solo, so I appreciate some of their struggles. But I have a much easier job. I don't have anything on the line right now. My career for Season 2 of WCS doesn't hang in the balance. Unless I do some real terrible casting, then it might, but for the most part, I'm pretty safe. Anyway, first, adding in his 2 gases now. He went for that Nexus first again. These 2 gases are pretty darn early, and that's quite cool for him. Meanwhile, first, has Serral going for that spawning pool first into a hatchery. Serral's scouting information, he knows that the Nexus pretty fast, and knows that Cybercore and Gateway is down, and knows that these 2 gases are here. Knows that it should be relatively quick tech out of first. Keeping a close eye on everything that Serral does, any kind of giveaways to what he's planning. Of course, with the gold base, there is a lot of fun that can happen. I love gold bases, seriously, I'm so glad they've come back. I was actually having a great discussion with some people at a tournament at the weekend. And some spectators were saying one of the coolest ways to make StarCraft 2 a bit more dynamic is things like gold bases. But not just that, make bases with just, like main bases with just 1 gas with like 1 or 2 gold mineral patches. Random stuff like that to really mix it up, and I quite like that idea. I hope the people get more adventurous with map design. But still, back to this game. A forge and additional gate coming through. No other signs exactly what first has got planned. This forge will allow him to get upgrades quickly. Serral, yet again, adding in that Roachron. He's gone up to 2 gases, and he's playing a very similar build to game number 1, delaying his third in order to get out the double gases sooner, more roaches, and probably an upgrade fairly fast. Meanwhile, first, going for the Stargate. Going back to the Phoenix, possibly, that he did in game number 1. Potentially looking for Oracles or maybe Voidwave. I'm not sure if he has actually scouted out the Roachron. No, not seen that yet. So, got to be keeping a good little peek on what kind of tech's coming out for Serral. But Serral is the one who could be about to get the money scout. Only a sentry trying to take out this Overlord means that it's got a lot of time. But is it rallied right to spot it? Knows a pylon's up there. He's going to want to check what that pylon is. He's rallied down to the natural. I'm not sure that's the best move. He's going to miss that stuff. Oh no, he sees it. Good. Okay, moves up. That is a really good move for him. Knows that an Oracle is on its way. Spore Crawler instantly started, and this Oracle should now do no damage at all. Well worth sacrificing the Overlord. Third hatch is now on its way. It's later than generally you'd see, especially up against a Nexus first opening. But Serral, he's going up to 4 gases already. He's got his lair nearly complete. Should see Roach Speed, should see +1 coming down. Generally what you get. Hydrogen coming out a lot faster, and I'm really glad about that, because when you know the Stargate's there, the Hydrogen is essential. Roach is not useless, but not essential either. You can just keep things going quite nice. You can get down Ling Hydra, and there's not too much a Protoss player can do to stop you. Robo, also on its way. Ideally, this needs to go up to Colossus Tech ASAP, so getting a Robotics Bay pretty fast. But the trouble for first is until this third base is up, he's going to struggle to produce Void Rays and get Colossi out simultaneously, unless he cuts some gateway production. But that's what he's doing. First is sitting on only 2 gates. That's really low. He doesn't actually have much of a standing army, so if Serral does what he's done recently and in the previous games, which is be fairly aggressive, that could be problems for First, because First's army is fantastic late game, but not early game. Early game, he's invested so much into his tech, so much into everything, his economy, everything other than his defensive forces, that a big push could cause him a real headache. Pretty cute move here. The Oracle knew it couldn't do any damage, so utilizing its energy elsewhere, wanting some detection, and with the aid of the Void Ray, picking away some of these creep tumors. Always nice to see. Gotta be careful though, because in comes some Hydras. Get out of that, Oracle. You don't want to mess with them. Still, both players up on 3 bases. Serral should know that this is here. He's got... where is it? Zergling there. So Zergling knows. Zergling has seen. But just as we saw in game number 1, Serral getting a hive very, very early on. First has not seen it either. Does not know that this is morphing into a hive yet. I don't even believe the infestation pit. No, if he hasn't seen the hive, he can't have seen the infestation pit. I don't think. Nope. No idea about that. No idea about the Hydroden. So quite a lot of important pieces. Oh, the Hydroden's known about because obviously there's Hydras. Duh. But keeping a really close eye on everything that Serral's doing, because Serral is likely to be the aggressor here. He's adding in a 4th base of the gold, but First cannot do too much as of yet, because his army is still very limited. He's going to want out like 3 Colossi, maybe 4 Colossi minimum. He's going to want to get out probably, well, Templar Archives in order to deal with any Vipers that could be there. But in game 1, if you recall, Serral pushed out with this army and did a hell of a lot of damage. He knows the hives, First knows the hives coming, he knows about everything now. So that's why this Templar Archives is coming down. He knows that Vipers are on the way, and he knows the game number 1, it was the Vipers of Ducks that were so devastatingly effective. Quick little revelation on everything around this natural base. First, just wanting to keep a good eye on everything that could be coming down. But look at this army. It's quite substantial. Extended Thermal Lance is done. Upgrades are level at 1-0 on both sides. Still patiently waiting to see what they're going to do. Still patiently waiting to see whether First is going to be able to take this trade. He doesn't have much vision. Okay, Oracle comes over. Oracle sees what kind of army he's seeing outside. Got to be careful. He needs the vision though. The 2 Vipers are here. The Abducts are ready. If the Abducts are good, it causes a lot. But if the feedbacks are good, that's even better. The High Templar getting very far forward. Good revelation. That Oracle really paying for itself. Despite not doing much damage, the revelation gives a lot of information about where these Vipers are moving, giving the chance for the feedbacks to come through. Both Abducts get down before the feedbacks. 2 Colossi down. 1 still remains. Good split on this army to minimize the damage from the Colossus at the back. First, frantically trying to hold this. Looks like he's going to be able to, thanks to that Photon Overcharge. Serral needs to retreat now. He does not have enough army to continue to trade this, but both sides taking losses, Serral losing a bit more overall this game, and now needs to produce a lot quickly. Needs to get energy back on these Vipers to consume straight away coming through. He needs those next 2 abducts to deal with this. The Voidways are threatening though. They're going to be a bit of a problem, because if those Voidways close up the distance to the Vipers, they deal huge amounts of damage, especially with prismatic alignment. The High Templar count only sitting at 2, and very little energy on them. But those High Templar do have enough energy for the feedbacks, and that's what the Vipers are looking for. Oracle goes down. No more quick detection or revelation on the army to know its positioning. And First knows that he's in a bit of a dangerous spot. However, a Zealot counterattack coming along the bottom, looking for any way it can get through, any way it can do some damage. And, well, it's gonna be more pressure. First, attempting to take 4th base at that gold. But Serral pushing forward. Not going forward yet, just losing a couple of units for nothing. Not ideal. Repositioning, trying to get into a good spot. The Zealot counterattack has been discovered. Being stopped as well. Roaches are there. It was this hero overlord that scouted it all. Serral also knows about the gold base, but it's going to be quite hard for him to take it out. Sending just a couple of roaches. And First knows that that cancel has to go through. Couple of Zealots up in the main base, dealing a bit of damage, but nothing terrible. Only managing to get 4 worker kills, but Serral's killed 5. First's army is looking a little more scary. He's got those 3 Colossi. He's also up at 5 High Templar, which do have Storm, but First moves his army up to the north quite far. This could be an opportunity for Serral to try and pick up the 3rd base. Doesn't have vision though to know exactly where it is, so wants to be slightly cautious about where it's going. Couple of storms coming through there. The 2 High Templar get their storms through, but there are the abducts. 2 of those Colossi instantly taken out. The Vipers stay alive because the abducts went down before the feedbacks. Important stuff. More Zealot counterattacks though, and this is causing a lot of problems at the gold base. Roaches frantically getting over there, but they will not be there in time. The 4th base gonna go down. First also pushing forward against Serral's army. Clearly some good storms went down there because it just vaporized. 4th base of Serral now dead. He's attempting to expand to the bottom left-hand base, but there's the War Prism just doing so much work with all of these Zealots coming into multiple bases, and Serral unable to defend against it all. Cleaning up these Zealots now, pulling back a lot of his army. Massive amounts of Hydralisks trying to come through. But First now switching on the pressure, bringing his full army over to engage against Serral. Can Serral get out enough stuff? Where are the Vipers? There's only 1. That's going to be a problem. Admittedly, there's only the 1 Colossus, but the High Templar are there with the storms. 4th base from First also coming through. It's down at the bottom right. It's nearly finished. It's about 2/3 of the way through. And Serral, for now, has bought himself some time. That abduct I love. And while it may seem a bit of a waste of an abduct getting a War Prism, that War Prism has single-handedly been the biggest pain for Serral. Because of the Zealot harassment, Serral has lost actually a decent chunk of stuff. Losing this 4th base is actually a big hit. Needs to remake it pretty fast. Needs to make sure that this, or his new 4th base and the gold which will now become his 5th, stay alive. Zealots warping in, buying a bit of time. Both sides incredibly close in army supply and overall supply, both at 185. This 3rd game of a best of 3 is insanely equal. Remember, the winner of this advances forward to the quarterfinals of this first WCS qualifier. If they win that, they're in Challenger League Season 2. The loser of this is eliminated from this first qualifier. They have to go through it all again tomorrow if they want a shot. Roach is engaging up against these Zealots now. There's a big upgrade lead, or an upgrade lead at least, for First. Sitting at 3-1 up against 2-1 of Serral. Serral snipes off the 4th base though. It was a big investment doing that though. He's going to lose a fair chunk of his army. And First has the option to counterattack. But the Mutatech switch coming through. Is it going to be able to get out in time? Does Serral have enough Mutalisks to make it worthwhile? He's only going up to 14. There are 3 Stalkers and 3 Archons. They're good against Mutas, but are they going to be good enough? The Roaches and Hydras getting a decent amount of damage down. The 4th base of Serral looks vulnerable, but hasn't been seen immediately. The Muta's revealed. It's now known that they are there. They're all running past them. Where are the Madals going? What is Serral planning with them? Is he going to try and base trade? This is a risky move if he does. Moving on in. Going to try and pick apart this army, knowing that he should have the better economy and that he's got more bases. Is this going to come down to a base race yet again? The High Templar wandering about. They've got a lot of energy. Storms coming down on these Hydralisks, though, dishing out even more. The Mutalisks and Vipers not engaging yet. Serral down to pretty much half the army supply. GG is called and first advances through to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately for Serral, he's eliminated from this first qualifier. But what a series. Great play by both of these two. And first now moves on into the quarterfinals and that final series before the qualification to Challenger League.